Hey, what's up guys, Metallic Rock here, and today we're going to be doing another quick alt gearing guide for Dragonflight. I did one of these at the end of Shadowlands Season 3, getting ready for Season 4, and in Shadowlands it was a lot more complicated with different kind of currencies, and you had to get your legendaries, and there was the Covenant and all these systems, and in a way, this video is almost an appreciation for how simple it is to gear in Dragonflight. As soon as you hit level 70, you can just go to the auction house and buy like level 434 gear or something like that when it's 5-starred. This can kind of patch in spaces that maybe you didn't receive gear for from the other options we're going to get into in a little bit. But, other than that, it's pretty cheap, maybe a couple hundred to 1,000 gold depending on the server, I'm not sure. I haven't had to do this for too many pieces because there's actually a lot of good gearing options out there right now. We're going to start off here with the Elemental Overflow gear. So Elemental Overflow is actually a currency that was added in Dragonflight. You can get it really easy from Elemental Storms in any of the 4 areas from Dragonflight, wherever there's a storm going on, just by killing mobs there or rares that spawn. And you can get it from rares in the Forbidden Reach. You get about 1,000 to 500 of this Elemental Overflow per rare you kill, and the rares have a pretty quick spawn timer. I believe you can even kill them more than once a day for Elemental Overflow, so you can just farm it from there pretty quickly. This will buy you heroic dungeon / time walking level gear to kind of fill in any spaces that you need, and get you going quickly so that you can queue into LFR or dungeons. You can use Elemental Overflow to buy gear from Mythressa in Valdrakken. There is a quest as well from an NPC in the same room to collect Storm Sigils. These Storm Sigils are weekly limited, but it can be used to upgrade this Elemental Overflow gear, but I wouldn't really waste your time with this. It's not a very efficient option when it comes to gearing. Considering the other options like the Primalist gear, Primalist gear was added in 10.0.7 with the Forbidden Reach. It's 385 token catch-up gear. You can get this gear from rares in the Forbidden Reach. I also got a lot farming in Primal Storms for achievements. It seemed like rares can drop them as well as regular mobs, rarely. The gears bind on account, so if you have a main, you can farm it on there and send it to your alts. However, if you don't have a main, if you're returning to WoW right now, you can kill the rares pretty easily. There's usually a lot of people out in the Forbidden Reach. You can join a rare group, kind of just follow along, and they seem to drop pretty often. You won't be guaranteed to get the token for your class, but you can stock up, keep them on hand if you ever have another alt in mind. You can upgrade these items with untapped Forbidden Knowledge. However, the untapped Forbidden Knowledge is soul-bound, unfortunately, meaning that if you have lots of these on your main, like I do, you won't actually be able to send them to your alts. It's not necessarily a big deal, but it's a little unfortunate considering I don't need them on my main. It would be a good boost for my alts. For me, I was actually able to use most of these 385 tokens to fill in spots on alts, this taking a big portion of the alt gearing process just straight out of the gate. Now you have the crafted gear. Once again, if this is an alt character and you've already finished the quest line from the Maiden of Inspiration on your main, you can just go to Grayzik Cobblefinger in Valdrakken, right where the Maiden of Inspiration is located. If you haven't done the quest line, this could be started in the same area. Just follow the entire quest line in a row, keep accepting quests from the Maiden of Inspiration. You'll do these trials of tier, and each quest will give you a new spark. If this is an alt, you just accept the quest, turn it in, you'll get your 5 things, craft them into your sparks, you're good to go. Obviously, you'll still need to run keys to get the primal focuses to create the infusions, to get the really high eye level, but these are great base items, and a lot of these will become bis. Obviously, your lariats, your rings, bis for a lot of classes. If this is an alt and you have a main, you can transfer the primal chaos needed to create these items by getting satchels from Rabul in Valdrakken. However, if this isn't a main, you'll have to run dungeons, do other content in order to get primal chaos so that you can craft these items. Onto the most complex part, which is the Onyx Amulet, a new ring added in 10.0.7 that was buffed several times, so it has become bis for almost every class, if not every class by now. When you log in, you'll get a quest called Hidden Legacies. The quest line will take you to the Forbidden Reach. If you're on an alt that has already been to the Forbidden Reach, the first part can be skipped. This will teleport you to the Forbidden Reach. There is a second skip for alts here. Just go ahead and take that. If you are not on an alt, you'll just have to do the quest line. I actually found the quest line very nice as the side piece. I followed along for the story, and I thought it was interesting and had good implications for the future of the expansion. Once you have either taken both skips or made it to the Forbidden Reach, you'll get a quest to go rescue some like gnomes and Volperas and pick up boxes. Do this quest, turn it in. Now you'll get a quest to go into the vaults called Exploring Our Past. You take this quest, go into the vaults, talk to Pathfinder Tasha outside of the vaults to get 6 free keys to open vault doors. Hopefully you'll get lucky like me and get most of your stones. If not, it's not the end of the world. You'll pick up the ring from the quest on the floor, and then you probably want to exit here because I actually had something that I didn't know could happen to me. After you exit with the ring, you'll get another quest called Primordial Embellishment to go back into the vault and get the Anvil and Jeweler's Kit. These are useful for adjusting your rings. The Jeweler's Kit allows you to take gems out without destroying them, and the Anvil allows you to grind down stones that you won't use in order to create upgrade materials for your stones, or in order to re-roll tokens of stones. When I went in to get my Jeweler's Kit and Anvil, my Anvil was actually located on the second floor behind a door that I couldn't open, which caused some problems for me, which is why I say you might want to get the ring, then leave, turn that quest in so you can get this quest. So you have your 6 keys, you can figure out which door it's behind. It kind of just displays it right there in front of you. You know, it was no big deal. I had already used my 6 keys. If this happens to you, and you have another character, you can just send keys over. Keys are bind on account. So once you've got all that settled out, you've got your Anvil, you've got your Jeweler's Kit, you can use the Anvil to crush any stones that you don't want to use into a material called Dormant Primordial Fragment. 10 of these fragments can be used to purchase a roll for a stone of a type. I think the 3 most commonly used stones are the Storm-Infused Stone, which comes from the Nature token, the Prophetic Twilight Stone, which comes from the Shadow token, and the Desirous Bloodstone, which comes from the Necromantic token. This is for like tanks and DPS. I believe healers have, healer choices as well. Like I said before, if you don't get enough keys or you get bad RNG, you might need to farm more keys. The rares in the Forbidden Reach have a pretty good chance to drop keys, about 50-50 from what I could tell. They either did or didn't drop them. Now, after you have your stones, you'll want to upgrade them, of course. Take 10 of the Dormant Primordial Fragments and 25 Silken Gem Dust, the rank does not matter, to create Unstable Elementium. Each stone will need 2 Unstable Elementium to get it fully maxed out, but Jewel Crafters can proc when making this, so just get lucky. We're going to take a quick second to talk about Time Walking real quick. Time Walking has some interesting implications for gearing an alt right now that it usually doesn't. Currently, from today, there will be 5 heroic raid caches available to you for doing your weekly Time Walking quest. On top of this, Time Walking drops heroic dungeon items / elemental overflow items, meaning that you can skip the elemental overflow part by just doing some time walking. You get the quest from Khazra, where you get all of your weekly quests, turn it in to get your heroic cache. Good luck. Lastly, of course, you're going to want your tier gear. Tier is in a great spot. If this is an alt and you've been doing your Catalyst quest every week, with a max of 6 charges, you'll be able to more than have enough to get your 4-piece. The new Primalist tokens can actually be converted into tier, so you can either farm rares, get 4 tokens and turn them into low eye-level tier, or you can hold out for some Mythic Plus / raid items. That's what you're going to go for to get your tier. You can obviously get tokens from LFR, or just normal Mythic Plus drops to turn into tier, like usual. As you can see, this video was a lot more simple compared to the previous one I had made in Shadowlands. I really think that Dragonflight's streamlining of the way that gear is acquired is a huge plus for the expansion in my opinion. I've actually geared up like 3 alts, kind of just using these methods in the last 3 days basically. It goes very quickly getting yourself competitive, almost like eye level 400, which is plenty to start doing 16s, 18s, maybe 20s depending on your skill level. I wanted to appreciate the way that they've designed acquiring gear for alts in this expansion. I think that's everything that you might really need to get yourself caught up good enough to start pushing some decent Mythic Plus keys, Maybe jumping into some heroic pugs at the end of the season. 4 weeks left until 10.1 when we get Season 2 of Dragonflight. I know I'm excited. I hope you are. If this guide helped you out, leave a like below. If there's something I missed, go ahead and leave a comment. You can find me streaming every now and then on Twitch at twitch.tv/metallicrock. Hopefully I'll have some more World of Warcraft content coming out in the future. Peace out.